Protecting the nitrogen found in UAN is a critical component to ensuring a crop's success. Yet the misconception remains that UAN isn't subject to loss, and the cost to protect UAN outweighs the value. But that is just simply not the case. As explained in the previous videos, UAN can be lost via volatilization, leaching, and denitrification. But why is it critical that nitrogen is protected, and what's the return on an investment to protect UAN? Let's explain. From growth stages VE to V6, nitrogen uptake in corn is relatively low, but around the V6 timeframe, the nitrogen uptake increases. This uptick in nitrogen consumption is caused by the plant no longer living off the seedling, but rather the nodal root system. This means the plant is taking up soil water and soil nutrients at a more rapid pace, which are moving up into the plant. Between stages V6 and VT, 60% of the total nitrogen needed is taken up by the corn. If a grower were to apply UAN pre-plant, pre-emerge, or side dress and did not take steps to protect their nitrogen, they run the risk of there not being enough nitrogen available to the corn crop later in the season during reproductive growth. This could impact grain fill and ultimately a grower's bottom line. For example, in a scenario with heavy loss pressures, losses to volatilization, leaching, and denitrification could be as high as 45% if UAN is not adequately incorporated and/or protected with a nitrogen stabilizer. This means a grower could lose up to 27 pounds of their total nitrogen if they applied 60 pounds of UAN, potentially forfeiting a yield advantage of 21.6 bushels per acre. And in a scenario with moderate loss pressures, if a grower were to apply 60 pounds of untreated UAN per acre, they could lose up to 18 pounds or 30% of the total applied nitrogen. This translates into a 14.4 bushel per acre loss of potential corn yield. Finally, in a situation with lower loss pressures from all three forms of nitrogen loss, if 60 pounds of untreated UAN were applied per acre, a grower could lose up to 9 pounds or 15% of total applied nitrogen. This means the potential loss of 7.2 bushels per acre. Many factors are out of a grower's control, but fortunately, in-field countermeasures are available to help mitigate nitrogen loss and ensure your crop has the nitrogen needed for grain yield. In combination with the 4R nutrient stewardship framework, growers can protect their fertilizer investment with nitrogen stabilizers from Koch Agronomic Services such as Anvol and Centuro nitrogen stabilizers. The products are designed to protect the grower's nitrogen investment, which can help boost yield potential. Anvol nitrogen stabilizer is a urease inhibitor with the active ingredients duramide and NBPT, working in tandem to deliver the longest-lasting ammonia volatilization protection. Anvol works over a wide range of soil environments and offers improved handling and low application rates. Anvol is an ideal fit for surface-applied or shallow incorporated nitrogen. As we've learned, nitrogen loss via volatilization can have a serious impact on a grower's yield results and reduce a return on investment. In a 2019 study from Michigan State University where there was only 3.02 inches of rain in the 65 days following application, dribble-banded UAN treated with Anvol yielded 27 bushels per acre more than untreated UAN. Centuro nitrogen stabilizer is the next-generation nitrification inhibitor that features the active ingredient pronitridine. Centuro offers highly effective below-ground protection and offers unequaled flexibility in an easy-to-handle solution that can be used with both UAN and anhydrous ammonia. When it comes to UAN that is injected, incorporated, or applied early in the season, below-ground losses become a risk that needs to be mitigated if you want to ensure nitrogen is available when a crop needs it most. In a study conducted in southern Illinois, UAN treated with Centuro outperformed untreated UAN by 17 bushels per acre. But from an economic perspective, what does a yield advantage translate to when it comes to a return on investment with a nitrogen stabilizer? If UAN 32% was applied at a rate of 130 pounds per acre, which was protected with Anvol at a suggested retail price of 0.069 cents per pound of nitrogen and a use rate of 0.75 quarts per ton of UAN, the yield advantage in our scenario is based on a meta-analysis of 9 site years of Anvol and Agritane data. Anvol provided an average 17 bushel per acre advantage over untreated UAN. With a market price of corn at $4.50 per bushel, the value of the increased revenue is $76.50 per acre, and the cost to protect UAN with Anvol comes out to $8.97 per acre. This ultimately gives the grower, in our hypothetical scenario, a net return of $67.53 per acre. And much like Anvol, how do these yield advantages translate to a return on investment for a grower with Centuro? If UAN 32% was applied at a rate of 120 pounds per acre, which was protected with Centuro at a suggested retail price of 0.082 cents per pound of nitrogen and a use rate of 1.5 gallons per ton of UAN, Centuro provided a 9.5 bushel per acre yield advantage over untreated UAN. With a market price of corn at $4.50 per bushel, the value of the increased revenue is $42.75 per acre, and the cost to protect UAN with Centuro is $9.84 per acre. This ultimately gives the grower, in our hypothetical scenario, a net return of $32.91 per acre. The net returns illustrated in our examples should speak for themselves. Much like the precautions growers take to prevent spilling and losing seed corn, treating a UAN investment just makes sense. Don't leave your nitrogen unprotected and money on the table. To learn more about protecting your UAN investments and the solutions discussed in this video, contact your KAS representative or visit kochagronomicservices.com.